Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about why relationships with covert, vulnerable narcissists are extremely damaging and exhausting. So before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So let's get going. As we know that these covert narcissists are a little introverted, shy, less friends, all the time playing victim, talking about their vulnerabilities and how the world has done wrong to them, and how everybody abused them and exploited them, and it goes on. So they have their own version of story, which is not right. In their version of story, the world is a bad place and they are these innocent victims of all those perpetrators around. Now, what really makes it extremely damaging and exhausting is that there is a lot of lies and there is a lot of omission of truth, and that is very frustrating for the partner. The partner comes to such a point where the partner doesn't know who he or she is with. There is a lot of concealment, there is a lot of distortions. So there is, as it is, a lot of frustration because partners are all the time lied, presented a wrong story instead of the actual truth, and the partner overall doesn't know what is going to happen next. They are quite unsure if there is honesty, if people are being their honest self to each other, especially in a relationship, in a romantic setup, and that really makes the bond strong, and that makes each other feel as if I have her back and she has my back, and we are there for each other. But with all these lies and omissions of truth, when you come to know, it's quite disheartening. So there is a lot of lies and a lot of omission of truth when you are in a relationship with a covert, vulnerable narcissist. And that is how these narcissists, these vulnerable narcissists, they build up that story, that how weak I am, how much I have gone through, how much I was persecuted, how evil the world is, and how nobody cared for me, and how much I was wronged by the others. How can that story be created if it's absolutely based on facts and truth? No. So some parts have to be omitted and some parts have to be changed and manipulated, and to make the entire story look all about being victimized. So yes, there is a lot of lies and there is a lot of omission of truth. These covert, vulnerable narcissists are like wolves in the sheep's clothing. Yes, they are not their own selves with you. They are their victim self in front of you because you are the supplier. And in a relationship, they will never be themselves, their authentic selves. They will be someone else in front of the others. They will be someone else in front of you. So you really don't know who you are with, and there is a lot of confusion. And these covert, vulnerable narcissists are very emotionally abusive. So that is further more damaging for a relationship, I mean in the romantic setup. And they become emotionally abusive later in the relationship. Initially it's all about being victim, to get you to get you used to that search and rescue mission where you come and rescue them. But later on you're going to see their nasty side. Later on you're going to see how crazy and how feisty they can be. So yes, they are wolves in sheep's clothing. So the next thing what makes the relationship with a covert vulnerable narcissist very exhausting and damaging is that there is a lot of gaslighting. There is a lot of twisting and turning of facts, and you are constantly in a state of doubt. You don't know what will happen next and how things are, and you are quite unsure about your own self, your own feeling and your own thoughts. So that is the kind of damage that happens to you when you are in relationship with a covert vulnerable narcissist. The next thing that we can observe when you are in a relationship with a covert vulnerable narcissist is that there is a lot of these narcissistic injuries, and there is a lot of lash outs. So you really might not know why is your partner behaving weird, or why is your husband or wife or whatever is behaving weird, and I mean silent treatment and passive aggression. Why is it happening? They're acting funny, and it is because they have this very fragile ego, and they have built up their false self, and they crave a lot of admiration and validation. And if they don't like something, or if you don't do what they want you to do, and you are unaware, you're just being yourself, you are unaware, that hurts them, and they start behaving weird, and they start throwing rage, or maybe silent treatment, passive aggression, being sarcastic, acting funny, and you would be wondering that what exactly has happened. What have I done that she's behaving like this? What have I done that he's behaving like this? So you really don't know what can cause their narcissistic injury. So you are really very confused at times, what would hurt them, what would not hurt them. So it becomes very suffocating for you. You can't be yourself. You are scared every time to do this and that, and you never know what is going to disappoint them, what is going to hurt them. So that is there, these narcissistic injuries and the lash outs that you get for causing them. The next is there is a lot of triangulation. When you are with a covert narcissistic partner, there is a lot of triangulation. They take help of the others into manipulating you, and into re-establishing that control or enforcing that control on you, and also twisting facts, and sending across the message through some other relative. So there is no direct communication that I need this and I need that, I can give this and I want that. There is no direct and healthy conversation. It's always through somewhere, because this covert vulnerable narcissist does not want to look good. This covert vulnerable narcissist does not want to be called out, does not want to be spotted as the bad guy. So they follow the other way. So they triangulate. So there is a lot of triangulation that happens, and you also often wonder, it's a personal thing, and why the hell her friend is saying this, why the hell her father is saying this, why the hell the neighbor is saying this. You would also wonder that it was a personal thing that happened between both of us, and how come these people have come into. So it's always better to have someone when you are into that process of controlling and manipulating someone. So it creates a greater impact, the magnitude is more. So that's what this covert vulnerable narcissist does. They take help of the others, and they triangulate. If they want something, they're going to go through someone. What she had actually bought this, her husband bought this for her, and they're going to triangulate it even further, where her friend is going to ask you, hey, when's your anniversary happening? Well, my husband did this. I'm just giving you an idea, you can gift her this. So I mean, it's really, I would say, unhealthy and toxic to be in a relationship with a covert vulnerable narcissist. And the last thing that you would observe by being in a relationship with a covert vulnerable narcissist is that when you get over, you're never going to get closure. You are really not going to get closure, because there is so much of twists and turns and manipulation and gaslighting and concealment of information, omission of truth. you really don't get closure. You really won't know why did I leave them and why did they behave the way they do. Why did they treat me in this way? Why did they not tell me the entire thing? So there is no closure when you come out of a relationship with a covert vulnerable narcissist. There is no closure, and because the relationship goes through a lot of different phases. First, there is love bombing, where there is search and rescue mission, where you have to take up the role and say, I'm going to solve everything in your life. I'm going to be the change. I'm going to bring the change. I'm going to do things what your partner did not do. I'm going to do things what your father did not do. There is a lot of this love bombing, and their way of love bombing, these covert vulnerable narcissists way of love bombing is search and rescue mission, to keep putting in your head to take up the responsibility and rescue them and safeguard them. So the relationship as it is goes through a lot of different phases. Love bombing, then there is devaluing, and then there is discarding. So when you are discarded, or when you have discarded the covert narcissist out of your life, you really don't know what exactly happened. You would be like, what the hell happened? 15 years, and still you can't wrap your head around, and it's very confusing. So those people who come out of relationships with these covert narcissists are, as it is, confused for a long time, and they keep on finding answers. Answers are essential for any of us. If we come out of any relationship, we need to know why did they behave the way they did, and we need to know. And it's even good if two people talk it out and work it out together, that okay, fine, it's not working out, and let's leave each other, let's go our separate ways. But these things are not there. Either you have to run away, or they discard you. You are discarded. So these covert vulnerable narcissists generally don't discard. They keep you on, and they keep on tormenting you. Only a person who extremely suffers from suffocation, and who's extremely messed up in the head with this entire relationship, they will choose to run away, because they want to breathe fresh air. They want to get all of that pressure off their head, off their shoulder. So they choose to run away. So the endings are not good, and people go on thinking, wondering for years and years, that why she used to behave like that, why he used to behave like that. I did so much, and I mean, what did I get in return? At least he could have said it to me, she could have said it to me. So there is no closure, because it's all lies, manipulation, triangulation, gaslighting. Often what happens, I had come across a gentleman, and he was in a relationship with a covert vulnerable narcissist. And after coming out of that relationship, he was not happy. For 15 years he was in a relationship, and he was not happy, and he came out. And I asked him how, he feels now, and he was confused. He said, what exactly happened in 15 years? I really don't know. And then I said, were you able to, tell, or were you able to know why it didn't work out and you had to walk away? And the only answer that he had was that I wanted my peace. That's it. And I asked him, can you tell me how it was? Was it like a roller coaster ride, ups and downs? Was there lots of challenges, fights, and all of that? And, he's gone so numb. He was like, I really don't know how 15 years, I was with that woman. So it really messes you up here, trust me. So whether you have a covert vulnerable narcissist mother, vulnerable narcissist father, husband, wife, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, and the best thing is to cut off. And those of us who are not privileged to do that, you need to draw your boundaries and create that space. Otherwise, you're destroyed. You're destroyed and scarred for life. So yes, this was all about why relationships with covert, vulnerable narcissists are damaging and exhausting. Please comment below, and in case if you would want to share in your experience, you can write that as well. And please like, share, subscribe the channel, and lots of love and blessings to all of you. Say no to abuse, stay away from narcissists.